Hey there, internet travelers. I am the Redcap, and today we're going to answer the question, can a kicker win MVP? Let's find out. Our story takes place during a 2-year period in the MCU, the Madden creative universe. In this timeline, a kicker emerged that would redefine the position as we currently know it. Now, I know all of you are racking your brains to guess who that kicker is. Justin Tucker? No. Harrison Butker? Nope. Adam Vinatieri? A good guess, but also no. His name is Robert Joseph Budarowski, better known in his NFL days as Bobby Boots. He was an undrafted rookie that no one had ever heard of. As far as everyone could tell, he'd never played college or high school football. It was like he had never existed until the moment he decided to play in the NFL. The Houston Texans scooped him up and unknowingly changed the game of football forever. In his first career game, he kicked an NFL record 72-yard field goal, and the Texans knew they had something special. In fact, that 72-yarder would end up being one of his shortest kicks that day. The Texans soon learned that they didn't even need to move the ball. Bobby could kick it from almost anywhere on the field. The longest field goal of the day was 105 yards. No, you didn't mishear me. 105 yards. The Texans were destroying everything we thought we knew about football. Look at these stats. When have you ever seen anything like this? In his rookie season, he obliterated the previous mark of 44 field goals set by David Akers in 2011. He kicked 261 field goals in 17 games. Let's see how that played out. Okay, now imagine that 261 times. Seriously, I am not going to make you sit through that. Now, you might be saying to yourself, these don't look like stats from Madden, and you would be correct. After a certain point, Madden simply stopped recording made field goals for Bobby Boots, so I had to do it manually. He did finish with a ridiculous long of 112 yards. I can promise you, this is the only time you'll ever see a field goal kicked from one end zone to the other. In the eyes of almost everyone, he was the greatest player the NFL had ever seen. Notice how I said almost everyone. It's clear that the people at EA Sports have an anti-kicker agenda. Not only did Bobby Boots not win MVP, he didn't win Best Kicker either. Apparently going 17-0 and scoring nearly every point for your team just won't cut it. Bobby knew what was going on. He knew that kickers were unfairly maligned. There was only one other way to get the respect he deserved. Bobby had a plan. In 2023, Bobby became the starting quarterback. He maintained his kicking duties and retained the kicker designation. He knew that the MVP award had basically become the best quarterback award. He didn't want to win that way. They would either accept him for who he was or they would never accept him at all. He turned the NFL upside down. Here was the best kicker we'd ever seen that was apparently also the best quarterback we'd ever seen. Better than Brady. Better than Manning. What about Hugh Joe Daddy? Pfft, more like Who Joe Daddy? Bobby Boots made Hugh look like the sickly boy who tried to fight Logan Thomas. Don't believe me? Bobby Boots became Bobby Bitch Slap for what he did to opposing defenses. The beatings were so bad the NFL mulled over a mercy rule just for Texans games. He crushed every record imaginable. Passing yards, passing touchdowns, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns. Hell, he ended the season throwing more touchdowns than incompletions. The man was God himself in football form. Everyone trembled in fear at the realization that the Texans might never lose again. There was one player on the Texans who didn't seem to appreciate Bobby. Last year's leading rusher Dameon Pierce. I don't know if it was jealousy or a chemistry issue, but Dameon Pierce at times refused to take handoffs. At one point, he even tackled Bobby. He was clearly mad that he wasn't getting any touches in the game. Geez, I swear, some people only care about racking up stats. As the sun set on his 2023 season, Bobby waited for the only award he cared about. They can shove Kicker of the Year straight up their ass. It was MVP or nothing. So, this is how it ends. They gave the 2023 MVP award to Joe Burrow. Sure, some Joe Burrow stans argued that he deserved it, but the rest of us saw it for what it was. This was a personal attack on Bobby Boots. That's the only explanation for what transpired. These are the game-by-game stats for this past season. I'm sure you've noticed that, once again, these don't look like Madden stats.
Yes, you've already explained this. Madden stops recording stats after a certain point. God, I'm not stupid.
Actually, it's even worse than that. Madden stopped recording stats the moment that the game was over. The team stats would stay the same. Everyone else on the team would have their numbers. Everyone except Bobby. This is pure erasure on the part of Madden, EA Sports, and the NFL. They wouldn't acknowledge his records either. Here are the records following the 2023 season. We have clear evidence that Bobby shattered every single one of these. But we can look as hard as we want, we won't find his name on any of these lists, especially not on kicking records because they don't even exist. To make matters worse, 3 Texans receivers made up the top 3 for the Best Wide Receiver award. They put 4 skill position players into the Pro Bowl, including 2 tight ends. The only person who didn't make it was John Mechie because apparently almost 1,500 receiving yards and 23 touchdowns isn't good enough. I guess no one at the Madden headquarters watched a single Texans game and just assumed that a jugs machine carried them to these insane numbers. In fact, when listing the best players on the team, he's not even listed there. The league hated Bobby. I don't know if they were scared of his power or simply stuck in their old ways. Bobby couldn't take it. Make no mistake, he was not a team player. I think that's pretty evident from this past season. He didn't care about wins or Super Bowls. He wanted validation, something that the NFL refused to give him. They gave him best kicker as some sort of consolation prize, but even that was a slap in the face. He kicked 200 less field goals than the previous year, and now he wins the award? What a joke. He never played another snap in the NFL. To this day, most people don't even know his name. That's why I made this video. Someone needed to shed light on this gross injustice. But I'm only one man. I once again am asking for your help. We need to spread the word of Bobby Boots, so please share this with as many people as you can. Every like, comment, and subscription will help us get the word out. If we all do our part, we can get Bobby Boots recognized as the MVP that he's always been. Oh, one last thing. I couldn't figure out where to put this information, but I thought it was funny. Bobby is canonically 5'10 and 285 pounds. This is what Madden thinks 285 pounds looks like on a 5'10 frame. On top of everything else, EA Sports is out here body shaming Bobby Boots. Absolutely disgusting.